Hi everyone, welcome back to the Python series. In the last video, we have completed the print function, and today we will explore about the variable and data types and dive deeper into how to use the variable effectively. So let not waste time, let's jump into it. So, as the comment, as mentioned, the comment is specifically used to explain the Python code, or as it listed that it can be used to make the code more readable and can prevent execution. Yes, it's all said true. As if the code has been written by developer, but after amount of the year, if it is read by the any of the tester, so he should get some clear info about what the code is basically, or where should it start and where should it execute necessary by calling its function. So for that reason, here I have provided one syntax, that is by mentioning the hashtag, and whatever the message we want to convey, we can mention after this hashtag. So let's try to execute into our id. Let's create one file with a name like variable.py extension. Okay, so for example, here is our code as shown. Hello python. If we try to run this code, it will provide us the output, that is hello python. But the message what we want to convey should always be after the hashtag, that is this is the message for user. So now if we try to run the code in our id, the whatever the print function we have performed to print those message mentioned within the parenthesis is the hello python, but the message what we have quoted after the hashtag, it is converted into a comment, and this comment won't get listed into the output. Okay, so this is what we came to know what is a comment. Let's hit the slides. What is a variable? The variable is kind of a container which is used to store the data value. Like for example, in our identity card for any of the organization, there is identity card. So identity card is itself act as a container which try to store the information of the candidate. For example, it can be of various data values, that is a name or a number or a location or address or email address. Likewise, in Python, we too have the variable where we can store the actual information received from the user. So let's begin. Variable. So for if we give example, x is equal to 5, y is equal to python, z is equal to 3.0. Now these are the variables, so it has stored uh, value. So this value, now I will just tell you what is this type of value is called. It is an integer value. Similarly, in the y, what we have stored, it's a string data type. Whenever we mention like whenever we using the decimal value, then it will be called as float. Uh, and we can't repeat same variable again and again because it will override the information. So we'll be calling as a. Okay. So this is what the value that we have is boolean value, that is come in true or false type. So if we now want to print this information, I will call by calling using print function, mention the variable which we have used, and let's keep on run. So we came output as 5, that is an integer value. If we want to understand what type of data type is being stored into a variable, we'll be using the type function. So print type type X. So by using this type function, we will come to know what kind of information is been stored into the variable X. Similarly, we'll be also executing for others as well. Print Y and its type Y, Z, print. Then for its understanding its types, so Z, then print X, Y, and what we are use the next variable, that is A, and the type function A. So let's try to run. So we have got all the information. So Python is been stored, and the data type what is been involved is a string. 3.0 is the variable information what is been stored into the Z, and its data type what is float. True, it itself represent as a boolean value. So here we came to know about the variable. The variable what we have used, the variable is a thing which act as a container that used to store the information passed by the user. And based on that, we also came to know about type function. Type function. Okay, now let's head to our slide. So there are certain rules in the variable also. Whenever we tend to create a variables, we can't use any because it has some certain parameter. That is, it must start with a letter or underscore character. The variable name cannot start with a number. We will also try to execute in our IDE platform as well. And the variable which contains should always be in the alphanumeric character with the underscores, and variable are case sensitive. So if we try to store into a small case a and the uppercase a, or capital case A, this all will have different variables, and the variable cannot be of any of the Python keyword. Likewise, the Python keyword, there are certain keywords which have been mentioned in the Python library itself that we can't use false as a variable name. It will throw an error whenever I will also show you this in IDE. True and class, else, in, from, non-local, while, with. So this is how we need to work very properly while executing the code. So as we came to know that variables rule, let's try to execute it. The first which was that it can start with underscore as well, where let's store the information with a Python, and then print where it will properly print the output, that is Python using var. Next we'll be using like var underscore is equal to Python is, sorry, we are not called the variable name, this variable name var. Now let's run it. So Python is yes. Next, the third was it should not start with a number, but let's try with a number at the end. Python is language, print var 1, print also Python is language. Okay, it's working fine. Now let's start. What was the mentioned rule? The variable name should not start with the number. Var, see, the moment I try to start with the number, it throws an error. So even if we try to insert information, computer print one var, it is not taking place, and it will throw an error by saying invalid decimal literal. So, the information which was provided in the slide has been verified, that whenever the variable name, it should start with a underscore, var underscore, or var. But the proper thing is that, let make it as comment just for understanding, because this is the information which we came across after our evaluation of the one line by line rules. So the proper format of any of the variable is like m equals to storing the information as number. Let's try to call it with print m. If we try to call this information, so yeah, now it's been properly printed. So it should be properly a best type of variable with following each and every rule. Okay, so till now what we have came to know is that the comment is used to pass this message to any of the user. Then we have understood about the variables and its types. So the variable can store any kind of information, that is integer value, string value, then float value, boolean value. And for that, to understand what kind of variable information has been stored inside the variable, we have used the type function. Okay, then we have came to know about the variable rules, that it should start with underscore or end after an underscore, or it should be alphanumeric, or it should be in a proper manner, but it should not start with any numeric value variable name. So let's begin. String. So we often in the string, not string, variable. Variable is a case sensitive language, as it was said in the PPT slide. What we have gone through, that the information what we stored in age, and this starting with capital case and all the letter in capital case, this will all be different. No information will tend to overwrite of this to this and this one to this one. Let's try like 35, age is 35, 45, 65. So print age, print second, starting with capital A, remaining all small, and then print all in the upper cases. So let's try to print it out. So all this information is totally in a different format. No another information tried to iterate in this variable and tried to overwrite it. So we came to know after this evaluation that variable is a case sensitive information. Yes. So it's not a case sensitive. So it's a case sensitive in the variable. Next is in the often string data type, the information can be stored in the single quote, that is A, or double quote A. It just kind of both are valid, we can say, and produce the same result. But use of one that makes you use one that makes your code more easier or readable, or should be consistent. Like somewhere we are writing single quote and somewhere we are mentioning as double quote, it won't be. Try to maintain the uniformity whenever we try to use this pattern. The thing is both are same, nothing any much differences. Okay, so now moving towards assigning assigning one value to multiple. like how? So like x1 variable, then x then x2, then x3 is equal to orange. Now if we try to print x1, then it will show the result as orange. Even if we try to print the x2 variable, it will show me second time orange. Even if I try to print the x3 variable, it will print the same, that is orange. So we can see the one value is being stored in the multiple variable. So at that time we need to use such types of logic. If we want to assign many values to multiple variables, so how it can be done? Many values to multiple variable. So x4, x5, x6 is equal to open CV, Python, NumPy. Now if we try to print x4, what will be stored in that variable information? It will present me open CV. If I try to print x5, it will present me Python. Then if I try to print x6, then it will print me the third information what has been stored as a numpy. So this information will get listed. So in this example we came to know that many values can be stored to multiple variable, and if item. So in this case, for example, we have one list. List is also kind of a data type which is mutable, and it is stored into a rectangular braces. So list, let's add some variables information to it. That is open, no, something different, that is TensorFlow, TensorFlow, then Seaborn, Seaborn, then Matplotlib, Matplotlib. Okay, so now let's assign unpack this all the information what has been stored into the list for individual variable. So at that time, variable n, variable o, variable p is equal to list. So whatever the information is present in the list will get extracted and get listed to each and every individual variable. So if I print n, I will get the information that is TensorFlow. So in this unpacking of the list of list item is been in process. Then print O, then I will come to know that there is a C1 in the list present. Then print P, then matplotlib will also will get listed. Okay, so once again the assigning one values to multiple, we have used this logic, that is because these are the certain logics which can be used in the upcoming exercise when we dive much deeper into the Python. So assigning many values to multiple variables, so this type of logic has been used, that is x4 x5 x6 is equal to open cv or 3 Three variable, three information. Unpacking the list. Whenever through list out the item present in the list and assign it to an individual variable, then we'll be calling like NOP as a variable name is equal to the list. So whatever it print get, it will call each information to the individual variable. Okay. So next, I hope till here it's been clear for you. If any doubt, please use the comment box where you can add any doubts you have, or so that we can come up with resolution. What if any issue you have, or any suggestion ideas we can implement in the upcoming sessions. Now we'll be writing about output variables. Okay, so A1 as Python, then A2 as is, A3 as Python is language. Okay, now if we want to call this all the information stored it in individual variable, how we will do? So we'll be using A1, then A2, comma A3. Now see what will happen. This will get listed as Python is language. So what we have done over here is we have tried to store each information and called it using the print function. Those variable which is containing this information. It can be also be done by means of the concatenation operation. So concatenation, where concatenation of string, concatenate operation is been done using plus operator. So show you print, that is A1 plus A2 plus A3. Okay, but let's run the code. Python is language, but you can see that it is very much close with a tight space. So let's provide space at the information output. Now let's run. Python is a language. It got printed. So over here we have used concatenate operation using plus operator. Okay. So now time for a quick exercise. Like assign the values to three variables, that is name, language, level, and print that sentence using this variable, like my name is, I am learning language, and my skill level is this. Please try to solve it out and provide your solution into a comment box. So thank you all. That's all for today's session. We explored variable data types and advanced ways to use them. In the next video, we will come with a new concept. So till then, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. See you next time. Thank you guys.